Hey, Kalimba family, how you guys doing? This is our second live stream episode, and we just wanted to welcome you guys back, and we're all stuck in this together, and we just got word up here in Washington. I know some of us viewers are going to be from different states, but we just got word that our governor extended the stay-at-home order, so we're probably going to be at home even longer. So we're just trying to make the best of all of this. I know there's a lot of things happening going on everywhere. We first of all just want to send out all our deepest condolences to anyone who has lost someone because of this horrible coronavirus. We just got word that Craig, a schoolmate of Craig Lee's, who all of the Kalimba family and Kalimba Nation probably knows Craig. He was on the call last week. Our hearts go out to the family of his friend who, I think if I read it correctly, she ended up passing along with her mom and her sister, which 3 in 1 family is just not right. So our hearts go out to them for sure. But on a lighter note, we're just trying to uplift people, bring some spirit. That's what we're trying to do with this. We're all in this together right now, and we hope to bring some joy and some smiles to your face. Later on today, we're going to be bringing on our guitarists, Michael Cole and Walter Finch. They're going to talk to you all about what they do and how they've done this so far. First couple just things I wanted to say thank you for those that have signed up and supported us on our Kalimba VIP page. We're building membership. We've got a goal set. If we can get 50 VIP members for those $5 a month, we're going to be giving away one of our new Kalimba t-shirts. I'm actually wearing it right now. I'll stand up so you can see it. We got our brand new t-shirts. They're pretty cool. We've got more shirts out there and more merchandise, but that's the shirt we'll be giving away if we can get 50 VIP members. And again, it's $5 a month. And what it does is it helps support us because we're trying to build, and especially during this time, provide you with something different to break up the mundane and the melancholy attitude out there. Luckily, it's, the weather's okay. It's sunny today here in Washington, but you know what, we're trying to raise your spirits nonetheless. So we're going to start off today with one of our favorites, and we put some things together in the last couple weeks for you. We're going to start off with a little bit of In the Stone, so please enjoy, and we'll be right back. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. We love that song. It's one of our favorites in the Stone. And especially, we want to make sure this is a time when we need to pull each other together and grab the one we love and realize that there's bigger things out there. And sometimes we overthink things, but sometimes we just have to kind of sit back and realize what's really important. And as you can see, we decided to post some of our loved ones, those we hold dear to our hearts, on the video, because that's really what this music is about. So we hope you guys enjoyed that, and please share this live feed with everyone on your own pages. We're just trying to build the spirit. Also, just so everyone is aware, we do have, just a real quick, in case people wanting to know, we do have the ability to, I'll just show you real quick how to join our Kalimba team. Go to our website at www.kalimbaband.com and click the Kalimba VIP fans list. And you can see more of events like this throughout this quarantine time, as we're calling it. But now let's bring on our special guest, I guess you could say, is the Kalimba, the Spirit of Earth, Wind, and Fire guitarist. We've got Mr. Michael Cole and Mr. Walter Finch on today. And I'd just like to welcome the two of you to our second show.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
And everybody.
Yeah.
You left the major people out.
Yeah. Well, what I'd like to do is just kind of give the floor to you guys a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your background and not necessarily your history of Kalimba, but just kind of where you started from and why you, why you've done what you did, where you went to school, how long you've been playing guitar and music in general. We'll go ahead and start with Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, how's everybody doing again? Wonderful to see everybody. And just before I go on, would like to echo what Chris had to say and just offer my condolences and prayers to the families that have won throughout our nation who lost someone, and then specifically to Craig Lee, one of the Kalimba family. And just, say, hey, my heart's out with you, and I give all the prayers and all of that through this difficult time. But to just talk about what Chris was talking about, it's good to share with everyone. Right now, my background, basically, I've been with Kalimba, I think going on 9 years now. And I first was introduced to Kalimba actually through our bass player, Derek, who I've played other events with and spent a lot of time sharing the stage with him. And he's the one that actually gave me the call and told me about Kalimba, what Kalimba was doing. And I'm like, hey, wow, I used to play Earth, Wind, Fire music back when I was in high school. And I was actually in a band that actually covered Earth, Wind, and Fire when I was in high school. We had a special project band that was part of the music department. And I was in that band at that time at Lincoln High School in Tacoma, Washington. But more specific about me, I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, military family, so moved all around the United States, lived in Germany as well. And I remember all of that quite vividly. Started playing the guitar back when I was about 14, and took music theory guitar lessons for about a year and a half. Went to college at Central Washington University and played in the band up there. I actually was also a jock, believe it or not. So I played basketball in middle school, football, ran track, did the high jump, did all that. So I love all that stuff. And for some of you that don't know, I've been an engineer as far as my professional life outside of music. So I worked at a major aircraft company, worked at a consulting firm. So I've always kind of been like a techie, geeky kind of guy as well. But back to present day now, playing with Kalimba, and I love it. It's grown to be something greater than I ever actually imagined, to be able to honor one of the groups that one of my all-time favorites, just from golly, the first time I ever heard of them, which my older brother introduced me to Earth, Wind, Fire back in the 70s. So have been playing this beautiful music, and just want to honor Maurice White, who's passed away, Philip Bailey, Verdine, and some of those that original members of Earth, Wind, and Fire. More specifically, now to the guitar, Johnny Graham and Al McKay, who were the original guitar players in Earth, Wind, and Fire, founding members, and then a longtime player in Earth, Wind, and Fire, Mr. Sheldon Reynolds, which we've had the pleasure of performing with and sharing the stage with over the lifetime of Kalimba now. So just really one of my all-time favorite artists and groups, and a lot of influence on me in terms of guitar playing and just music in general, because their music did cover a wide genre of music, everything from jazz to gospel to some rock, R&B, and that kind of thing. So anyway, it's just good to share with everyone and kind of give a little idea on kind of my background a little bit. And then also my time with Kalimba, my Kalimba brothers, Kalimba mates. It's not just brothers, I should say, ladies as well, because we all share in this, and we all are thankful to be able to bring this music together. And then I'd also like to say really thankful for my fiance April, and she's starting to share this Kalimba family experience as well. So anyway, that's a bit about me. And I also want to say and introduce, I know Chris is going to introduce him as well, but my bandmate, love him dearly, Mr. Walter Finch on guitar as well. And as we go on throughout today and sharing with you, we'll talk more about what we do, and more specifically what we do on these. So anyway, that's enough about me for the moment.
Thanks, Michael. We appreciate that. And yeah, we love it's an honor always getting to play with such great musicians. That's the one thing that I think we in the Kalimba family know about, that we have such amazing musicians we get to play with, and sometimes we almost take that for granted. But I just have to say that, I think it's great. And be able to play with two amazing guitar players. I mean, you just heard from Michael Cole, but let's hear from his comrade in arms. You got Mr. Doc Walter Finch. Walt, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Hey, everybody. Just wanted to say, hey, Chris, what's up, bro? And everybody. Again, just wanted to say, again, my heart goes out to everyone who's suffered loss from this crazy disease that's just hitting the whole world. And just want to say my prayers are going out to everyone. Even this morning, I was praying about that whole situation, but my heart goes out to everyone who's been affected by it, especially our brother Craig Lee, who suffered a loss with his friend and all. And as far as just wanted to say, as far as a little bit about my background, I was born in Mobile, Alabama. So I have Southern roots, but I was raised in Seattle, Washington. Seattle was pretty much my home. And I started playing when I was around 15 years old. I was interested in music since I was just a little guy. And like there was a guy, his name was Roy Rogers, and he used to ride a horse called Trigger, and he used to play guitar. And I'm like, man, that's real cool, So when you was a kid, my age, back in the day, I'm 65 now. So back in the day, guys that could ride a horse and play guitar at the same time, it was pretty cool. So Roy Rogers was kind of one of my heroes, and so I had this thing about wanting to play guitar since I was around, I say about 5-6 years old. And when I got to be around 15, I started playing, and have been playing ever since. I played with a lot of different people, shared the stage with a lot of different folks. I've opened up for people like Al Green, opened up for people like BBC Winans. I played with Brian Duncan for like about 5 or 6 years, and Brian is a real good friend of mine. And the list just goes on and on. And actually, when Mike was talking, I was thinking about even when I met Mike back. Wow, it's been a long time ago now, but like we crossed paths, but we never had an opportunity to play in the same band and stuff. We used to have jam sessions. We used to run into each other in jam sessions and stuff like that, but we never had an opportunity to actually play in a band together. So to be in a band with someone of Mike's caliber of playing was a real blessing. And he was actually the one who, him and Ivan Payne were the ones who introduced me to Kalimba. And man, it's been a great ride. I've been with the group now for I think about five years, and it's been a great ride. I've been all over the place. I've never been in a band that's traveled as much as I've done with Kalimba. So this has been just totally awesome. So that's pretty much the long and short of it for me. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Really do appreciate it. Appreciate having both you and Mike on the team. So yeah. So what we'll go ahead and do, I'll let you go ahead and move your mic. We'll go ahead and do here now is we'll go ahead and we got another video for you guys. It's from we're going to get back to Michael here in a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and air a video that we did. I think it's been about a year ago, give or take. One of our favorite venues we've played in the past, and we hope you guys enjoy it. Hope it gets you out of your seat, maybe dance a little bit, move a little bit, and we'll be right back after this.
Everybody in the house can do this dance. Everybody bounce with us. Come on, here we go, like this. Everybody bounce with me. Everybody in the house. Come on. Oh. Everybody in the house can do this dance. Everybody bounce with us. Come on, here we go, like this. Everybody bounce with me. Everybody in the house. Come on. Oh.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think we may have had a slight technical issue as far as a loop, but hey, you just got a little bit more of it. As a horn player, it's one of my favorite songs to play. So I love playing Serpentine Fire, so I can hear that every day, all day. Just makes you want to get off your butt and dance. So anyway, so we're back now, and so we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of give the floor to both Michael and Walter here. Just have them talk a little bit about, you know, their guitars, companies that they support as far as their guitar companies, because, you know, they've got some special equipment there that catches everyone's eye. And just kind of take it from here. I know they got some things they want to show you guys. And, well, why don't you start this? Why don't you take it away, man?
Okay. So, anyway, hey, it's me, everybody. And let's see. Wanted to first talk about just my very first, how I was actually even introduced to the guitar. Well, first, I've loved music just from day one. And what I mean by that is my dad, I mean, for any of you old school people who know about this, they used to make these big, long stereo consoles. You know, they were big pieces of furniture, but they had speakers built into them and turntables. And, you know, my dad had an 8-track back in the day, and I would sit in front of that thing for hours listening to everything from the blues to gospel stuff to whatever I could, lay my ears on. I would listen to it on my dad's stereo. So the music itself is just kind of the foundation of all of it. But my first guitar, my dad brought home a guitar and amplifier. And my younger brother, who actually plays bass as well, John Anthony, he looked at it and kind of do anything with it. So I picked it up, and that was my first introduction. It was actually a Epiphone something, okay? But it was Epiphone, and it was actually, before Gibson became Gibson, it was actually Epiphone. So I had an Epiphone guitar, and I didn't even realize what I had, because later on, a few years later, when I got in high school, I saw that same guitar down at a guitar store that it was kind of pricey. So I didn't even realize what I had then. But anyway, that was my first introduction. And then later on, my dad brought home a bass guitar and an amplifier, and I fiddled around with that, but my brother kind of really picked that one up. So that was my first guitar that I had, and it was a semi-hollow body guitar. I wish I actually had the guitar, because it was actually a good guitar. It didn't look very cool, but it was a good guitar. So anyway, jumping up to now, what I have in my hands here is, and I'm going to try to show, I don't know if you can see this is called the headstock here, this guitar. This is my custom guitar made by Mike Lowell Guitars. And Mike Lowell is actually a luthier from up here in Washington State. And I was actually down at a convention a couple of years ago. I think, Chris, you were with me at the NAMM show, and ran into Mike down there. Now, Mike has recently passed away, not from the coronavirus, but prior to that. But anyway, Mike is he's done the custom work on all my guitars for the last 20, 30 years. And this is like his latest creation for me. And if you can see that here, this guitar is a very specialized guitar that is probably one of my favorite guitars. I play it on most of the shows, but not all the shows. But he's well known. He's made guitars for Randy Jackson. He's made guitars for Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Just a well-known guitar maker around the country, actually. So this is the guitar that I play most of the time, but I've had and have a number of guitars now. I have Gibsons, Paul Reed Smith, Fenders. So those are the guitars that I play quite a bit. So if you seen our Kalimba shows, you'll see me playing Gibson Les Paul, a Fender Telecaster, Paul Reed Smith. But this particular guitar here is probably my favorite guitar that I play now. So it's a very well-rounded guitar, and again, when you talk to a lot of the pros out there, and you get to learn what a guitar is supposed to do, how it sounds, then you get to really understand how you want your guitar to sound and feel, and then you can communicate that to your guitar tech. And they're the ones that really help you kind of hone in your sound and how you play and work with your style and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I'll call this my Blue Angel. As you can see, it's blue, turquoise blue, which is one of my favorite colors. It's got the gold hardware on it. And it's a little flashy, but what would you expect? So anyway, this is, again, my Blue Angel Mike Lowell Special guitar that I play quite a bit in the shows when I'm playing with Kalimba. So anyway, that's a background on this particular guitar. As far as effects and that kind of thing, man, I've been all across the board. I've had custom built pedal boards. Right now, I'm using a Roland GT 100. Believe it or not, I just haven't pulled away into anything new in the last couple 3 years or so. So that's what I use on our tours most of the time. When we go out on the road now, we used to have, I had a couple of amplifiers, a big pedal board box, and just a lot of equipment to bring on the road. And so now through technology, it's a little less now. So it's mainly 2 or 3 guitars and a pedal board. And that's really, that's pretty about what I do most of the time. And then as far as influences goes, I've been influenced all the way from Jimi Hendrix to Ernie Isley from the Isley Brothers. And believe it or not, Glenn Campbell, and Roy Clark from, now I'm an old school guy, so my parents used to watch Hee Haw. And I don't know how many of you out there are familiar with a program called Hee Haw that used to come on back in the 70s. I think it stopped airing, in the early 80s. It may have been before that. But Roy Clark, Glenn Campbell, Ernie Isley, George Benson, a lot of those guitar players, and believe it or not, Sheldon Reynolds of Earth, Wind and Fire, and then Al McKay and Johnny Graham, all big influencers of probably what my style is today when I'm playing outside of Kalimba or just me as a musician. All those guitar players have had influence on my style. And then a story, now he's really familiar with this story because I've told him when we've been on the road, on the tour bus, on the plane, I've told him this, but Walter Finch has also been one of my influencers. So anyway, what I would like to say is that, hey, Walter Finch has been a real big influencer of mine as well, because I first saw him when I was in high school at Wrights Park in Tacoma. I saw a band that he was with. He was doing some crazy solo work that was pretty incredible. So believe it or not, Walter Finch is one of my influencers as far as styles and that kind of thing.
Well, that's amazing, the fact that that's the case. Mike, thanks for sharing all that information with us. I know it's pretty neat things to be able to have great guitar players. And Mike, can you take your cell phone off the table, or if that's either one of you from it buzzing? Anyways, Walt, why don't you take it away from here now? Let's. What about you?
Well, hey, basically, excuse me. Well, basically, I remember when I first, like I said earlier, I got started when I was playing guitar when I was about 15 years old, and I started my first professional gig that I played. I think I was around 17 or so, and they used to sneak me. Well, I won't sneak me in, but we used to go into these to the bars and the nightclubs, and so I could be in there as long as I wasn't drinking. So that was cool because I didn't want to drink anyway. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that part because yeah, my mom might be listening. But anyway, because I wasn't always 100%. Okay, So, but anyway, as far as my guitars are concerned, the first guitar that I played on, I got it from my brother. Because my brother, my oldest brother, he started out before I did on guitar, and I used actually before I started playing guitar, I was playing drums. My mom bought me a drum kit, and I started out playing drums, and I kind of liked them, but it wasn't really my thing. But the guitar was like, man, it was something about the guitar that I just needed to play. And I would sit back and listen to my brother, and he would try to get certain chords and stuff. Because, like what Mike said, we had we was we had the first thing. The thing that we had, because we were kind of poor, and we had a little phonograph thing. It's kind of like you'd have like a turntable and a box with a speaker, and so with the volume knob and all that stuff. And we sit back and we try to learn songs off of records. We just putting the needle, pick up the needle and put it back. What is that part? What is that part? Man, did you hear that? And then try to pick it out and that kind of thing. So I'd sit and be watching them, and I could hear those parts. So, and see, now my brother, he wasn't real favorable about me playing guitar. He wanted me to just play drums. But when he would leave and go out and go hang with his buddies, I'd pick up his guitar and start playing it. So, long story short, I ended up with the guitar that he had bought for himself, because he got disinterested in it, because he wasn't able to. He just wasn't able to do the things that he wanted, that he felt that he could do. So I could actually do it. And so my mom ended up giving me his guitar. So, so anyway, I graduated, what was it called? She got it from this place called Woolworths back in the day. And so, I got his guitar, graduated from that guitar, and went on to a Lyle guitar. I had a Lyle guitar and a Vox amp, and I kicking myself today because that Vox amp is worth a lot of money. It was the Vox amp that had the little cart with a 212 speaker cabinet and a piggyback amp. It was and I bought both the guitar and the amp for like $150, if you can believe that. But anyway, went on from that. I've had I don't know, I can't even tell you. I've had Gibsons, I've had Stratocasters. I had a Flying V guitar at one time, and man, I didn't really like the Flying V so much because it didn't feel right. It felt like I was playing on a 2x4. I kind of like something with a little bit of body on it, and so that's when I was around when I got those guitars. I got the Flying V when I was must have been about 20 some years old or whatever, and then I ended up getting into some more more expensive type guitars, and then I ended up with the guitar that I don't know if you can see it, but it's this one right here. This is the latest one that I've gotten, and then right behind me, I've got some guitars. They're custom made too. They're by this company. It's called Warrior Instruments, and I've got an Isabella, the one that looks kind of right behind me. This is the one looks kind of like a Les Paul, and there's another one that's sitting right next to it. It's a signature. It's like the one I had specifically for my specs and all of that. And then just like I said, this is my latest guitar that I've gotten. This is an Alembic Darling, and if you can look at it, if you see it, it's got a little heart right here, and so that's the reason why they call it the Darling. But this guitar is a bad guitar. It just, oh man, this thing sings, and I love it. Has great tone. Alembic did a great job on it. It's the one that's my go-to guitar. It's the one I play at all the gigs. I'm always going to have two guitars. You're going to always probably see me on the platform, on the stage with at least two guitars, but you're going to pretty much always see me playing this one and then I'll always have either the Isabella, or I have another one. I have another Warrior. It's called a Texan. And so it's either going to be one of the two of those guitars I have. I usually have those for spares in case I break a string, but those guitars sound amazing as well. I love the way all of them sound, but this particular one is the one that I love the most. So yeah, so as far as other types of gear, I have a Line 6 Helix. But I've had, like, before the Helix, I had the Fractal AX8, and that's also I still have the AX8, because usually when I step up, and the Helix was kind of not so much of a step up, but it was more like something that I've been hearing a whole lot about, and said that it had great amp modeling and different things, had great effects and stuff like that. So when I heard about that, I went on ahead and purchased it. But I take the Helix. I'm pointing like you guys can see it. But I take the Line 6. I take the Fractal with me, because it's a smaller unit and it can fit in my luggage really well, and it sounds amazing. Both of those units sound amazing. They have both of the Helix and the Fractal. Both have great sound, and I use a Clyde wall, because for the most part, what I do in the band a lot is I play a lot of rhythm. So sometimes there's opportunity to do wah-wah stuff, and whenever I'm solo and I use distortion. And my distortion pedal is a Dutch-made distortion pedal. It's called a City Watt, but that thing is amazing. I have a City Watt, and I also have a Plimsoll by Full Tone, and it's the incredible distortion pedal. Both of those actually incredible distortion pedals. So that's pretty much what I have as far as gear is concerned. You can't, like I get it from Carlos Santana said that, tone is everything. And that's my whole deal. It's like, I gotta have great tone. If your tone sucks, you can't really do much, but you gotta have awesome tone. So that's pretty much the deal for me, is great tone. If you have great gear, you're going to have amazing tone. So it's like sometime, if you can afford to go that way, I mean, getting custom stuff made is a great way to go if you can afford it. If not, there's still a lot of great stuff out there by Gibson and Fender, Paul Reed Smith. All of those people make great instruments. And and like now, there's a lot of people not even using amps anymore. I see a lot of guys in our travels that are not even using. People aren't even using amps on stage anymore. A lot of people are going to the multi effects units and that type of thing, and just running direct into the board and sending the signal from the multi effects to the front of house. And then like in our system, we use with us we use an inner system so we can hear ourselves. So it's that's like I said, a lot of good stuff out there as far as to make you sound amazing. Like again, you don't have to spend a ton of money. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but if you can, I suggest that if you can afford it, get something that you really gonna like. And so that's the long and short of it for me. All right.
Wonderful, Walt. We appreciate that. We're going to have Alex queue up something that features the two of you guys. We don't got that much time left. But Alex is going to queue up something. It was from a concert we did together, and it's going to feature just the two of you. He's going to isolate the solo you guys so you guys can hear what the two of them were talking about. Have a listen. Very, very nice. That gives you guys an idea of what Walt and Mike were talking about here. I just wanted to first of all thank Michael and Walter for being a part of our second weekly show. So thank you both for being able to take the time and doing this. Just share with our Kalimba Nation what to get a little bit know more about you guys as people and your background. So just want to thank both of you for being a part of it today. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Really do appreciate it. Just a couple of things, folks. I mean, I know a lot of you, I've seen a couple of the feeds, and this is our second show, so it's better than what it was last week as far as some technical issues we're going through. But hey, we're learning as we're going. So this is our second show. We're going to keep trying to do shows once a week. Now, I know we've got a lot of feeds, like more music, more live playing. There is, as you guys know, we're not a small group. We're a large group. And so we're working on trying to make it so we can actually play live in different areas when we're all in different locations. It's easier to record and to working on things during the week and put videos together, but to actually play live is really difficult, but we actually might have that ability. It's all have to do with the fact that we're miles and miles apart from each other. And so we're working on that. We are really trying. We've got an amazing sound engineer, Alex Donahue of Diversified Sound. He's actually the one producing the show today. So hats off to Alex. Thank you so much for all your hard work. We're very gracious to have you on our team. And we're just going to continue to push and try and make this happen. We really want to put a full live 90-minute show together for you guys while we're all together. Depending on how long this order is, I know the order is supposed to be till May 4th, but we're going to do our best. But even if we have to pre-record stuff, so that way we can figure out the latency, and latency is just having to do with delay. We don't want it to sound like 15 different starting points. We want it to sound all the same, and we think we've figured out how to do that, and we're going to work on getting things put together for you guys. So I appreciate your patience on that, but again, we are learning as we go. We're trying new things, trying to do different things. For those that have enjoyed what you've seen so far, and I know it's not as much music as some people would have hoped, please do join our Kalimba Nation, Kalimba VIP fan club. We do have on the website, we actually do have full concerts of us. If you are a Kalimba VIP member, I know I've seen some people during the show sign up for a mailing list. We do appreciate that, and that's so you can get emails, but that's not the VIP fan club. That's actually on our website under Kalimba VIP fans. You have to subscribe, and it's $5 a month at the low end. There's two options, $5 and $50. I know that's a steep jump, but the $50 gives you 2 free tickets to our shows throughout the year per month. So 2 tickets per month to any shows. And we'll take care of your entrance fee. Now, that's kind of one thing right now. There aren't really too many venues that we can play at because of all of this. But moving forward, if you're one of our frequent fans that comes to every one of the shows we play, it might be to your benefit to sign up, and we would appreciate your generosity. Again, we are looking for, if we can get 50 total Kalimba VIP fans, we will be giving away a t-shirt. And that's available on our website. I was also told by our producer as well for this show that we want to make sure if you feel generous and feel like you like what you see and you understand what we're trying to do to help support the group and its members during this time, we do have a donate button at the bottom of this feed. Please do, if you feel obliged to donate, we would appreciate your generosity. And it doesn't go without saying thank you for everything you guys do to help support what we're trying to make happen. Now, we do have one more song, so hopefully everyone's stuck around this entire time. We've got one more thing, and I do wish you guys a very healthy week, and I hope we keep being able to do this. If you have requests or questions, please send them our way. We did get some requests this week from our fans that there's some songs they want to hear, and we are working on them. So don't feel as though we're not listening. We are. It's a lot of work with 10 people to try and get all this stuff lined up. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. We appreciate you watching, and here's a little sing-a-song, and see you guys all next week. Thank you.
You need time to Sing this song. It'll make it. Now it's your heart again. Sing a song. It'll make it. Sing a song. 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 Sing a song.
But there will come a time